we need to see them restored, and we need to see them brought out of darkness into light. We're not going to do that by trying to destroy them or coming against them with the same spirit they're operating in. We need to see change through love. Now, that doesn't mean we sit back and let them do what they want to do. We can choose to stand for good and for righteousness and peace and joy, and we don't have to cooperate with those people. Now, those people are the people who have most of the money, and they control the media, and they control a lot of those systems. Therefore, we need to start looking at how we can remove power from them legitimately by not going along with those ways that they do things. It takes a grassroots movement to change it. There has to be, people have to rise up. You're not just going to change it by getting rid of them, because someone will just replace them. If you just get rid of somebody, someone else will fill the vacuum. What you have to do is bring about change. But then that's what people need to see. And then if people see, the financial system that we have right now doesn't work, it just makes the same people more and more money and keeps the same people poor and thrives on their misery and all of that stuff, then people need to stop operating in that system. Therefore, we need to maybe have alternative systems. Kingdom government, kingdom bank, whereas that money is not going to be used for usury. It's not going to be used for lining the pockets of the rich, but it's going to be used for good. So people will need to start taking their money out of the systems that those people who are using it to fund their agendas take it out. If they got no money, they got no power. We have the money. That you can say they control it, but it's our money primarily. Take it out when the time is right. Remove the power from them, but there's got to be something to replace it, which is run correctly under heaven and not earth. And the danger is you sort of run to the next prophetic voice who's telling you to go and buy cryptocurrency, all this stuff. Cryptocurrency operates the same way, electronically. If there's no electronic system, if that suddenly collapsed, then it ain't going to work. So we need to look at it a different way of looking at it. And there are systems, there are cooperatives, there are credit unions, there are things which are designed to operate in a charitable way, looking to help people and benefit people and help people in their lives rather than make money for the big banks and the big financial, control system people, and whatever you want to call them, and I don't like to use terms which are so conspiracy based and, because it just fuels other people's views of things and views the wrong way of looking at it. I believe change can take place as God changes people, and when people change, things change. And if enough people change, then things will begin to change away from those systems. But we've got to expect that they're not going to like that. So, they're not going to, want free energy, when that becomes available, whether it's cold fusion or whether it becomes available through 0-point energy or whatever, or gravitational energy or whatever it might be. They're not going to want that. So they're going to try and oppose the free giving of that to the world. They're either going to try and buy it up, or they're trying to suppress it, like the oil companies have done with technology over the years that didn't maintain their interest. So they basically suppressed it, bought it up, or stopped people being able to bring it to market. Well, if the technology is released and the discoveries come out of heaven, we need to have the right people administrating them, and there needs to be those who can finance and make it happen to enable free energy to come around. If free energy came about, that would change the world, because the people who control the fossil fuel and other forms of energy at the moment are the same people who basically have all the financial money in the banking system and all of that. And at the end of the day, if suddenly there was free energy available for everyone off grid, that would change things. And I think we need to look for those things to be released. And there are people who are developing water engines and water boilers, in that they don't boil water, they produce hydrogen out of the water, and the hydrogen actually is what produces the car. And there are vehicles right now in things that can run on water. You just fill them up from a hose and they'll run on water. Now, of course, as soon as you got that, then water becomes an issue that people will start rationing. It'll go up hugely in value. So we need to make sure the water is not controlled by people who are then going to use that against free energy, whatever. So it's all these things that you have to think about, got to prepare for, and not just think, oh, there's a solution, because there's always a knock-on effect in lots of different areas that we need to take care of. So if suddenly all cars could run on water, then you can guarantee that people will start charging more for water. So we need our own sources of water. So we need our own boreholes. We need our own sources. We need community water rather than governmental water or private company water who are there to make profit. So we have to look forward to managing how we do this stuff in the future. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.